for in my world, before I heard that the World Health Organization had released that there was now a global pandemic, which is why they've subsequently shut down my school, they first emailed me with a cancellation to do just the online. It's through Ignite. So Ignite is taking a very responsible approach. So I'll read you the email that they sent to me. Given the evolving situation relating to the COVID-19, the decision has been made to now only hold the Ignite conference online. So now they're saying we'll be proceeding with all of our planned presentations via Zoom, and it'll still give you the opportunity to ask questions and speak to the presenters and things like that. Following that, yesterday, I received an email from my drama faculty, and she said that we're really looking into what's going on here with the coronavirus. We want you guys to know that we have your best interests at heart, and how can we make sure that the students are still going to be able to finish their term and get their credits. So this morning I received an email that they're sending out. I think this is important for people to hear, though I would imagine that public schools would be emailing all the parents. I would hope so, with rational preventative explanation for why they're closing the schools. So now I've got this from my University of Toronto president. A message from the University of Toronto to all members of the U of T community. As you know, since late last year, governments and institutions around the world have been responding in various ways to the threats posed by the COVID-19, the illness caused by the novel coronavirus. The situation is now accelerating very rapidly. 2 days ago, the World Health Organization, I'm trying to say all three words at once, determined that COVID-19 has reached the level of a global pandemic. Yesterday, among many other developments in Canada, the governments of Quebec and Alberta advised that outdoor gatherings of more than 250 people should be cancelled. This is a good preventative measure. The Ontario government announced that all public schools will remain closed for 2 weeks following March break. Continually, since early January, the University of Toronto has been monitoring the situation very closely and taking action as necessary in light of the global situation, the advice of public health authorities and concerns of our community. We have also been liaising, I guess is a word, I didn't know that, regularly with other post-secondary institutions and sector organizations, as well as the Toronto Public Health, while consulting our own U of T experts in public health. We have been informing members of our community accordingly through a website we created as a clearinghouse of authoritative information. Yesterday, we sent a memo directly to all students, faculty, librarians, and staff on our 3 campuses to update everyone in our planning for future contingencies. We announced the cancellation of all university-sponsored learning programs abroad. We advised that non-essential travel should be reconsidered, and that they recommend cancellation or postponement of any just events that aren't detrimental to have right now, which I think is exactly the steps that we should be taking to avoid outbreak. Okay. Before I finish this email, I just want to say that the standards we have in Canada, US, Europe are very different than the standards in China. Okay. Plus, the population per capita in China is much greater than most other places in the world. If you have an outbreak somewhere where there's 10 times as many people in 10 times as less space, you're going to have an outbreak that happens a lot faster. I think by taking these precautions, we are going to benefit ourselves of not ending up in the same situation as China. That's all this is. I don't think that this is something where you need to run out and buy supplies. You're fighting over toilet paper or supplies. Okay, let's just forget that it was toilet paper specifically. You're fighting over supplies that you could very much live without, especially since we have a surplus of running water. I mean, I'm sure you have some washcloths and rags around and a running washing machine. You're probably good. These people, in a time where you're supposed to be avoiding unnecessary contact with all surfaces and people, they're clobbering each other, and they're in close range. Like, if any one of them had the virus, then they would just be giving it to each other. The other thing that I feel is a little bit off is that the severity of the symptoms in healthy people is on par with the flu or a respiratory tract infection. If you take care of your health, you have a good defense. Minimize your drinking to 1 or 2 days a week. Get your vitamins, eat healthy, cook food at home, avoid the sodium, cut back on sugars. Like, these things in an epidemic like this will greatly, greatly, greatly help your ability to stave off any infections, not just epidemic ones or pandemic ones. So, let this be a lesson to us all to live in better health and not leave ourselves so vulnerable. Get your vitamins, eat healthy, cook food at home, avoid the sodium, cut back on sugars. Like, these things in an epidemic like this will greatly, greatly, greatly help your ability to stave off any infections, not just epidemic ones or pandemic ones. So, let this be a lesson to us all to live in better health and not leave ourselves so vulnerable, and get educated. There's lots of site resources that you can pay a membership for. We use Web of Science at my school. We use Scopus. I can get you a list. I can post them below in my video. So all of these sites are free through my school, and I'll try my best to find some articles should they be popping up when I have time. But it's by membership. You can pay to have access to legitimate primary resources on actual studies and studies that cite other studies, and they're all peer reviewed. So peer reviewed basically means any professional or expert in that field, all of the people have a say in whether or not a paper gets published on that site, in that journal, because it's like a committee of experts who say, oh, hang on, we cross-reference this point that you made and something's a little off, your paraphrasing's off, it kind of implies this, we need you to correct that. And then they go and they correct it, and then they get published. So when it's peer reviewed, it goes through a lot of eyes before it gets, shared with anyone. So back to my email, I don't even know, I just went on a rant. So we indicated the steps that have been taken to support instructors in planning the possible cancellation of in-person classes and examinations. We reiterated our advice that those who are sick should stay home, and we reminded community members, which they weren't. I saw people sneezing and coughing at my school, but none of them had COVID-19. I don't know if anyone went and got tested, but they just had like the sniffles. So those who are sick stay home, and we remind the community members of where they can find more information online. After careful consideration of developments over the past 24 hours, we have made the following additional decisions. We have decided to cancel all in-person undergraduate, master's, research stream, and doctoral courses at University of Toronto's 3 campuses, and we will provide that teaching by other means, which may include existing online platforms. This decision is effective this coming Monday, March 16th, and is continuing until the end of classes Friday, April 3rd. Please note that all in-person teaching scheduled for today, Friday, March 13, will continue as planned. I personally didn't go in. With respect to professional programs, each of which has particular circumstances and accreditation requirements, consultation is ongoing today to determine the appropriate course of action. So there hasn't been an official decision made on those. Professional students, as well as faculty members, other instructors, staff, and these programs will be advised this coming Monday morning. The next point says university operations continue at all 3 campuses and will remain open. Libraries, residence, food service, health and wellness centers, athletics, recreation facilities, and other public spaces on all 3 campuses will remain open. One of the key factors in these decisions is the need to foster a degree of social distancing as recommended by public health authorities. On that front, our goal is to help interrupt the chain of transmission in the wider community, thereby protecting vulnerable individuals and ensuring that our healthcare system will not be overburdened. I would like to extend special thanks to those faculty and staff members who have been involved in monitoring and analyzing this evolving situation. The changes I have just announced will require very significant adjustments on everyone's part. But based on the strength of our bonds as a community and the goodwill that characterizes us as members, we are confident that we will meet this challenge successfully. Okay, so that was from the president. And then I received one again from my English advisor. So English and drama students, this is a big department specializing in theater, but this is one of the courses that I'm taking, so this is the email I got. So to further our email from yesterday, we will be canceling exams. In most cases, we will be replacing these with final written assignments worth the same amount of your final grade. They'll also have a FAQ you can go and check out, which will be live. That's the information that we got from my school. Obviously, a board of people, or a large group of individuals who are highly educated. Faculty is still, right now, as of today, still working. All of the Starbucks and everything are still running. They would have been closed as of April 4th or the 30th. I don't know exactly, and I don't know if summer courses are going to commence. I guess we'll know more about that later. Anyways, I just want to ask everybody to please let this be an opportunity for you to work on how you carry yourself in the face of fear. I ask people to be kind to one another. Please do not fight each other for supplies. This is not the end of the world. Please keep your home and everything clean, avoid high traffic areas, and anybody who is in good health, please be mindful of what you could be spreading around. Let's protect each other because together we are stronger than any one of us is on our own. Let's just remember that, and we are nothing without each other. We need each other in this world. I think it's important that people really take a look at themselves and not get caught up in the emotions, and just let's think logically here. I guess that's it. My audition for my theater program is probably going to be canceled or postponed as well, because that was for March 28th, and I believe it was actually at the University of Toronto as well. I have to call them today. Anyways, peace, love, and sanity. Let's just be happy and stay safe, okay? And save the drama for the stage.